Welcome to So Very Easy. My name is Laura, and today I'd like to share with you a couple of tips that I like to use when I'm taking a quilt pattern such as this one, which is beautiful in the blue, but I don't want it in the blue. I like the pattern, but I want to use these beautiful fall colors. This beautiful fall fabric is from Bernina, and it's called Pumpkin and Spice. Now, there are a lot more fabrics in the lineup, but these are the ones I've chosen. I do like to have some fabrics that read as a solid and then the prints. I like to have a solid beside a print, and that way you really can see the prints. They really stand out more than if you put the prints together. So when I'm choosing fabrics, I like to choose a solid print, solid print, solid print. It doesn't have to be an actual solid, but I do like it to read as a solid. And the pattern that I'm going to use is also from Bernina, and it's a free pattern. It is a finished 34-inch square, so it's going to be a beautiful table topper in this fall fabric. It's going to be really nice with my fall arrangement. I like this layout. I like the way it has that shape. So there are a few things that I can do to transform this pattern using these fabrics. One thing that I like to do, and you probably have seen me do this, is photocopy that pattern in black and white. After a while, I forget what those colors look like, but this gives me values. So I can see a dark fabric, a light fabric, and a medium fabric. And I will often divide it up so that I can see the blocks or the components in that quilt. Some of the patterns will give us the breakdown, and if that's the case, this is the page I like to print in black and white. I'll also put some notes on this page. Sometimes they will already have the cutting sizes for me, but those that don't, I add them. Then I go to the page where I need to have how much fabric I need. Here I can see the values, the darks and the lights. I also see if it's a print or a non-print. So I can take my prints and put them with my prints, and take solids and put them with the solids. When you buy a fabric line that is all matching, they are made to be mixed and matched, and no matter the order you put, they are going to match. So we don't have to worry about the fabrics matching. Now in this pattern, it is more of a spring color line. So they do have the lighter colors, and in this case, a white. So I'm going to flip my white and turn it to a black. So I know that is my first color that I'm going to adjust on my pattern. So my solid white automatically becomes my solid black. From there, I look at different components of the quilt and see what I like together. This quilt does have some big half square triangles, and I really think the opposite of the mushrooms are going to go great together. So I now will take these corresponding numbers and reassign them. So I have the dark mushroom and the light mushroom. The next block that I want to take a look at is this Ohio star. It does have a dark in the center, so I'm going to pull in a dark fabric. Then it has these half square triangles or these flying geese units. So we have that white background, which I know is going to be my black. So from there, I just need to make those star points. And I really think this orange will make a nice star. I have some solid cornerstones, so I could do either of the yellow or the green, but I think I want to pull in that green. Now, how am I going to know this is going to look good? I'm going to pretend I'm making the block. So that's going to be my centerpiece, and those little star points are going to be my orange. So I just fold that up together, and then I add that green cornerstones. So when I look at it, I can see that I really like that look. I do like to have a definition between my fabrics. I have a print and something that reads as a solid. When we have this print and solid definition, it really emphasizes the main fabric. If you like more of a blended look, you could put in another print. It's still going to go together. We just don't have as much definition. If you want to lighten up the block, we can add another color. So I'll just keep changing the colors until I find the combination that I like. I really love this orange. So I'm going to add that orange and that green. So then I will transfer these fabric colors into the right area. This also has a very big center block. And I think I'm going to do the dark leaves for that block. Before I cut that and make that decision, I'm going to make those blocks. I'm going to make those 4 half square triangles and those star blocks. I'm not worried about the border yet or that centerpiece. I'm just going to cut and make those 4 pieces, lay them out on my board, and decide what I'm going to do next. So this is what the center of the quilt is starting to look like. From here, I can decide what I want here. According to the pattern, it is this dark mushroom pattern. And when I put that in, it definitely looks nice, but we can addition other fabrics. I have the leaves, the pumpkins, and of course, my light mushrooms. As you can see, any one of them will go. So from here, I'm going to choose the one that I think I like the best, and I think I like the leaves. So I'm just going to lay that down and addition now the borders. And I am going to do a black border. I really want to anchor these colors. It's going to give an area for the eyes to rest because the fabric is quite busy. You can see how that anchors that and really shows up those black little points. From here, I can re-addition that fabric. Every little element that we're going to add will change it slightly. You also can consider, what are you using the quilt for? In this case, it's going to be a table topper, so I will have some type of an arrangement in this middle. So that can also dictate what my fabric's going to look like. I really like the light mushroom. I thought I was going to like that dark, but the light really does give it a little bit more life. Now I can start to addition borders. I do love that leaf pattern, so I'm hoping to get that one in next. So the leaf pattern was the first one that I thought I was going to like, but I can still addition more. And additioning the fabric like this really is a lot of fun. It gives a lot of different opportunities, and it's just fun to see how that fabric is going to play out. And don't forget, we can also put in our solids. I do like the way this darker border does work with the leaves, so this is the decision to this point. The main idea is we're going to start with those main blocks. We know these are the blocks that we wanted. From here, we could just keep additioning the fabrics. And don't forget, they really are all going to look good. It's just going to give the quilt a different look. Now, if you are doing a very large quilt, you might not be able to lay this all out to addition it. So what you're going to do is just do a portion of it. You still will make those main blocks, but you can lay out just a corner and then start additioning that corner. Let me get the center of this quilt done and that first border, and then we'll see what we're going to do next. I'm going to have that nice green as the cornerstone. I will be having a black binding, and that's really going to just set it off. Additioning your fabric for a quilt is a great way of using up your stash. Find a quilt pattern that you like, Start with those main components and then build on that. As long as those fabrics are matching at the very beginning, they're going to look fine no matter how you put them together. It's just going to have a different look. For example, this center block. If I did it dark, it would have had a totally different look. Now, if you do not want to cut up your fabric as you're additioning it, you can take that fabric and photocopy it. You can photocopy it in black and white if you want just the values, or print it out in color. You can cut up this paper and rearrange it until you like the way it looks. So you would put that right over top of your pattern and play with those pieces. And when you're done with the paper, be sure to cut out some designs and put it on some cardstock and make a card. And that way you'll have a card for all occasion, or if you're giving this as a gift, you'll have a matching card. I'll put a link in the description to Midnight Topper for you, and I'll also put a link in the description to the fabric called Pumpkin and Spice. And thank you for joining me today on So Very Easy. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I have a newsletter. It's all free under So Very Easy. Thanks again, and be sure to make every day a so-tacular day. Bye now.